Stalking in the workplace is a serious issue that demands immediate attention. It goes beyond just a sexual context and can lead to intimidation and stress for the victim, creating a hostile work environment. Our curated video compilation aims to raise awareness about this critical problem by showcasing popular examples of workplace stalking. Recognizing the signs, such as persistent unwanted communication, surveillance, and threats, is crucial. If you suspect you are being stalked at work, take swift action. Document all instances of stalking behaviour and inform your supervisor or HR department promptly. They are obligated to maintain a safe work environment for all employees. Seek support from a counsellor to address the emotional impact of being stalked. Remember, you have the right to feel safe and respected at work, and no one should endure such behaviour. By staying vigilant, informed, and proactive, you can protect yourself and advocate for a workplace free from harassment and intimidation. Stay confident in asserting your rights and taking steps to ensure your safety and well-being in the workplace.
Hello and welcome to Quell. Now I'm sure you've seen the title, Is Someone Stalking You? I've been told by many people I should put titles up that create clickbait, but I'm more interested in staff safety. I would rather people come and watch the videos to get an idea or start a conversation. But anyway, about 2 weeks ago we put up an article on our LinkedIn account about 300 arrests over a period of 2 years of individuals carrying out the subject of stalking. And it was interesting because I got lots of comments and people were telling me to watch Baby Reindeer. I hadn't had a chance at the moment. But what I was trying to explain to people, and I was even getting proof to myself from staff that we work with, that this is actually occurring. You see, stalking, in my opinion, and I've been in this game, as I joke about, a long time, nearly 19 years of workplace violence. Stalking has always been there, many different levels, and I've also seen the impact of what it has, and it's very underreported. And it's because some staff hope it just goes away, and I'm going to be honest, sometimes it does. It does filter away and the person gives up, but sometimes it can go on for quite a long time. I even met someone there recently that was being stalked over a period of 9 months, and it got quite severe. Now, how do you know is it occurring? Well, in the workplace, we usually see things like consistent emailing or texting or trying to get onto their social media of the staff member, asking very personal questions, even asking about their relationship. So if they knew that they were married or in a relationship, is it going well? Is it going good? Do you need someone to talk to? So they're doing that old, do you want a shoulder to cry on, when there's probably no reason to cry on it. You also then look at it that they give you gifts. One of the things I've noticed more is that they start to follow a pattern of appearing at certain times and even asking the most irrelevant questions. Do you know what I mean? Like coming in and saying to whether it's people working in retail or hospitality or housing, or it doesn't matter. Even coming in and asking, well, what's the weather like today? And it sounds funny, but it does actually occur. And then obviously the way the comments then develop into comments like, oh, you're looking well today, or what did you do at the weekend? But not just like, oh, how did you have a nice weekend? It was like, what did you do at the weekend? And it's all these little traits that we get to see. And I'm sorry to say, but unfortunately the staff that I talk to in subjects around stalking, they seem to try to brush it off. And I understand that because it's the embarrassment. They don't want to let the family know, and they don't want to say anything. And I think the article about 2 weeks ago saying that the PSNI arrested 300 people over a period of two years is, I'm just saying it's the tip of the iceberg. It really is. Even as soon as yesterday, I was talking to a staff member about this, and they were saying to me that this individual is consistently chasing them through social media and trying different names. And the first time they ever talked about it was with me. And we've passed it on to HR, and I know, talking to HR, that they are going to react to it. So I would ask you just to follow a link down below that will take you through to the article and have a quick look, and have a look at the traits and have a look at the patterns, and think to yourself, well, actually, this may be happening to me. And even if you only have a slight inclination that it's happening to you, do something about it. But I just want to leave you with this last little thought. You see, stalking is not always for a sexual manner. It can also be for an intimidation. And when I teach on some of our courses, especially around personal safety, you'd be very surprised the amount of staff that come up to me during it and at the end, and anyone that's watching this has done my courses will know this does occur, and ask me about the subject of someone harassing them but outside of the workplace. What I mean is, the staff member in their personal life has a client, it was a guest, a tenant, whatever that could be, even a customer that has, let's just say, started to get involved in their personal life. Very serious subject of it. So I always say to people, if you're out on your own and you're walking around wherever you're going to work, or you're doing part of your job moving from place to place, always remember what you're carrying. That's the big thing. What items do you carry? Do you need to carry them? Can you be as light as possible? That means get rid of stuff you don't really need to carry. And do you conceal stuff? And what I mean is, do you make sure you keep things out of sight? Obviously purse, wallets, items of expense, iPads or mobile phones. And also, moving on to phones and things, do you wear earpods? I'm sure some of you would have seen the video where I do take a little bit of a mick out of people that have the baseball caps, hoodies and headsets on, because you're not really aware of your environment. Wherever you go, you should really make sure you select your route. I mean, yes, I'm going to go from here to here is fine, but have you ever thought of putting safe zones in? I've done a video totally on safe zones where I talk about personal safe zones, I talk about those that work in static locations, and also those that are mobile workers. You should always make sure you tell somebody where you're going and where you are. What's the harm in it? I mean, I'm going from A to B, or I'm doing this. And then lastly, if needed, make sure you have an app downloaded. You can get WalkSafe Plus, it's free. And a lot of our attendees and our clients have downloaded it. And I won't go into it too much, but it's a great little thing to have on your mobile phone to keep in contact with people or to alert people where you are. And then you can even get private ones as well. That means purpose-built ones that you pay for. My apologies. So that would be like the Stay Safe app we all carry, and we all have little items that we can wear, clickers I call them, that we can wear on our wrists or around our neck or not. Now, getting to the point of where you are physically being followed. Well, the first thing is, it's very easy to say is don't panic. But if you panic, that's more than likely what the person's trying to do by following you. You've got to remember, there's certain different reasons why people follow. One of the biggest ones I come across in our profession of workplace violence is they do it to cause intimidation, fear, threaten the person. So I always say to people, try not panic. Remember all your preventative measures. Ring somebody if needed and let them know. If you're in an environment where there is possibly a high risk of this, have you thought about putting a code word in for your colleagues? And then again, if you mix it with your safe zone, you'll ring your colleague, have your code word, and then have your safe zone that you're all aware of, and then you can get there. More important for me as well is always stick to areas you know. Don't do anything silly. And the most important thing as well is get a description of the person, because I have no doubt the person who is following you has done it to somebody else. There's always a pattern. If any of you have been on my sessions or been to my seminars, I talk about a degree of patterns, about when people do certain abuse threats, and especially if there's anything around intimidation, there's always a pattern. And then obviously record it. If you can, safety is paramount of you. See if you can take a photograph or record the individual. Or lastly, which I had a person I speak to recently that was followed, go into somewhere that has CCTV. Sounds funny, doesn't it? But if you walk into a store, shop, a petrol station, a service station, a grocery store, they all have CCTV. And it could be that little bit of evidence as well, just to prove that you're being followed. Vehicle. Sure. Being followed is not nice. It's happened to me, it's happened to colleagues of mine, it happens to our clients. And I try to put it across that there is an instant panic when you think somebody's behind you in a vehicle and they're purposely intimidating you. It's back to the basics, I'm sorry to say, but preparation, make sure your car's locked, which most cars lock now after I think 5 or 7 miles an hour. Make sure people know where you are. So there's all these little things that you should be doing in preparation to this possibly happening, if you're especially in a role that actually has a degree of risk. I always say to staff as well is always make sure you stay within the areas you know. Don't start trying to take shortcuts if you're not sure about it, or going into areas you're not sure about, because you could accidentally go up a one-way street or have an accident. You could end up going into a cul-de-sac. There's so many things that you could do wrong if you're in an area you're not used to. Never speed. Instant reaction is to boot it. I've seen it myself. I've talked to people. They've told me they've gone through red lights. They've sped off from lights. They could get in an accident, hurt somebody, or themselves, or get in trouble with the police. Got to think to yourself, what can you do? Well, that person following you is trying their hardest to intimidate you or scare you to some degree. What I used to do, and I still encourage people to do, is because you know they're following you, they don't want to attract attention to themselves. So what I do is I pulled over and I put my hazards on, purposely letting them know I know they're there. Once I've done that, I've got the details of their vehicle. Now, one of the best ways to do it now, and I've encouraged a lot of people to do this, if you think you're being followed, go into a service station. Some of the grocery stores like the Asda's, the Sainsbury's, the Tesco's, the Circle K's that I've worked heavily with over the years, they've all got ANPR, automatic number plate recognition. And there's your evidence. I'm not being funny, there's your evidence. Or go into the actual service station and ask for assistance. I don't think anyone will turn you away, whoever you are. I have this problem sometimes with male staff that will say, but well, who's going to pay attention to me? I'm a bloke, I'm supposed to take it. No, I disagree. If anyone has a concern, people will help you.
What do we think of these apps that you can get for free? Either it's on your Android or an Apple phone. And we try to explain that some of them, yeah, but they're really only for your personal life. They're only going to connect with your loved ones. If you have an incident, yeah, they'll alert the loved ones where you are, and they can then ring onto the emergency services if required. One of the best apps that we always recommend is WalkSafe Plus. I'll put a link down in the comments below. And the reason why is because we think it's great. I'm not being funny. It actually plots where you are. You can plot your route. You can alert people, and it can give you local crime statistics. It's not fully operational from what I understand at the moment in the Republic of Ireland, but again, it's something that can still be used. There is other apps out there, and I don't want to start mentioning them, that you can pick off your App Store or your Google Store for free, because I might get sued. But not only that, they're not very good. They look all the, obviously the technology, it says that it'll track you and it'll do this and it'll follow you. Yeah, and there's the odd one that's okay. But to be honest, if you feel that you need an app for work, you should be talking to your management. You should be saying why you need one. Do a risk assessment on it. Because when you're in the workplace and you're involved in an incident, I'm not going to be cruel or disrespectful to anybody, but your family reacting to that will be totally different than a professional organisation like some that we work with that can actually get in touch with emergency services and pass that message to many people very, very quickly. However, if you just want a simple app to go walking at night with the dog or go out with your friends walking and feel safe, then check out the WalkSafe Plus. But if it's for your workplace and you require something professional, please even get in touch with us and I'll point you in the right direction. I'll give you as much advice on the best app that I believe will be for your sector or environment that you work in. But whatever you do, and this is just me giving you our advice of experience, I've been in this game for nearly 18 years, is don't always rely on these free apps. They're not as good as what you said.
How good it is. What we have had over the past few years is that we've had a lot of requests reference personal alarms. Simple things like this. A couple of pound, and basically they're designed in the sense of to see if they would improve the staff safety. Now recently what happened was a client of ours sent me this one. This just a small little black one which actually comes with a carabiner. And the aim was to attach it to the bags, whether that was a backpack or whether that was, shall we say, a laptop bag, or even to the belts and things like that. And it's just a small, tiny, little 120, possibly 130 decibel alarm. And with it comes a little strobe light on the front. Now, when it arrived, it just comes in a small box. And with it, you've just got the main, shall we say, unit, and then you've got the carabiner and a set of instructions. The only thing is, what I always try to talk about when I speak to people about alarms, personal alarms, if they're not connected to anybody, they might not get the response that you want. For instance, I said this is just a strobe light. So again, to activate it, you pull the top sensor. Not deafening, but you might not get the response that you want. Even though some people think that that's what will happen, or somebody will be, shall we say, stood across a road or stood across a park and they'll hear it and come running. It doesn't usually work like that. Not even the police might not even react if they heard that. And what I try to explain to a lot of our staff that do the training is we need to emphasise to our attendees that, look, this is just a part of it. The prevention is the part of it. Making sure people know where you are, making sure you've got an escape plan, making sure that you use your training that you've been trained upon. Like, I'm all for devices. I always have been. I mean, this, it's quite solid, good plastic, little strobe light, like I said, speaker on the back, little carabiner, seems to be well made as well. Good secure plastic in the sense of the connection. Again, like I said, it does take a bit of a pull, and then to connect back in, a bit of a forceful, so it tells you that it's quite sturdy. But again, as I always say, personal safety is down to yourself and making sure that you put all the elements around this in place. Is it worth it? Well, put it this way, when we were actually sent it, we did some research into it and it cost around about £4.99 sterling, and I seen it for €6.50, so a bit of a price difference. However, when we purchased another one off a reputable website, we'll say no more. Yeah, the thing is that it was down to £3.99. So I mean, it's sterling. So I mean, it's a couple of pound here and there. Do you know what I mean? And do you think it's worth it? But again, I'll remind you, same as all the other devices that we've done checks on and researched into and tested for our clients, it's the preparation around it, the preventional measures that you put in place. So again, have a quick look. Okay, see it. You can't miss it. You'll find it on any of the actual, shall we say, online stores. If you need any more information, get in touch with us. I'm more than happy to send you a quick link to show you where you can get it from. It's very cheap, very goodly made, and it might just give you a little bit more boost of confidence. If you want to know more about personal safety and staff safety or equipment or anything like that, please follow our LinkedIn channel for news and information. And on our YouTube channel, we're constantly putting up, shall we say, information or advice or solutions and also equipment. Stay safe wherever you are, and bye for now.